Hello, and welcome to another edition of Metal Moose Radio, and this is Lisa. Hello.
Hey! All right, Lisa, this is, Nick and myself are at the studio, and Trey's at another location, undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location.
That sounds ominous.
I can hit this and tell you I'm doing the same thing they're doing though. So. What up?
I'm trying to stay dry and not drown over here. I need a raft.
We're getting ready for this show, and so we're kind of like scattering and kind of pulling some stuff together as we're doing. Most of the shows that we've been doing has been like a 30-minute set, and so we got bumped up to a 45-minute set. So we're like throwing some new tunes in that we haven't played in a while. So we're kind of doing our homework.
Now
Lisa,
you've added.
you needed.
I need a raft.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said I need a raft.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Are you safe?
Yeah, I'm fine. I haven't floated away.
All right. To say that our hearts are with you is an understatement. We're watching, and I've got my wallet out. That's the best I could do for everybody there today. So I'm just so sorry for everything that's going on.
Oh, I know, and a lot of my friends here that are musicians, they've lost their band equipment. They've gone to their studios, and it's like it's all underwater.
That's really scary. That's breaks my heart for them, because that's their livelihood, and that stuff doesn't get replaced immediately. So
no, it sure doesn't. I'm hoping that, which I know Houston will put a show together, and everybody will come and donate what they can to
Absolutely.
help their other musicians and their other friends,
Yeah. I saw the pictures that I was looking at was, it's insane. You're looking at an interstate, and all you see is the green, the signs overhead, and it's like, wow, man, it's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's like I feel like I'm in a dream. And being stuck here, not being able to go anywhere, is maddening. And all you got is this crap on TV constantly running, and you're like, at some point you just got to turn it off. It's like,
Right.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
But doing these interviews and listening to music and stuff, it helps take my mind off of it.
Good.
Glad we could help with that.
Now you've added a new member since the last time I talked to you. You added Trey, right?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Well, now Trey was he was kind of like the silent member for a while. He was still recording. The last time we talked, Trey was doing all the studio tracks for us, but was not playing live with us.
Right. I know that you were doing a lot of shows, and you were just using his drum tracks.
Yes. Yeah.
I was going to say, these two cats were crazy enough. They actually, while I was unavailable, I just have to give them some major props in that area. They took a Roland SPDSX sampler. They took the studio tracks, and they kept on gigging, which I thought was just royally badass.
Right. Wow, that's cool.
And they really, and in the process, they came up with, they started to morph more into that, I don't know, the industrial side of things, and the sampling got better, and then it's just, I kept watching, and they put they put their videos up and they go live occasionally, and I'd be like, man, this is badass. That's awesome. Because I just thought it was cool. I thought it was unique how they were doing it.
Right. I bet when they showed up the show, they were like, "Where's your drummer?" What the heck?
Oh, but I was communicating with Freddie the entire time he was doing it. Once I would see a video, I'd hit him up either by text or on Facebook. I'd say, "Yo, add this, add that." So
he was a solid member at that time. But
I was also saying, don't get a drummer, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I love this.
But we did get a lot of people that were like, it was really interesting because we would go do these shows and people would come up to us and be like, your band is badass. And they didn't even realize or didn't even know. I mean, some of the people didn't even faze them that we didn't have a drummer there because at the show it sounded real. We had it mixed like it was. I mean, the device that I created and built to haul was like 10 times what it takes to take a drum set on stage. This thing, it took like 4 people to lift it up and move it on stage and had speakers in it and stuff. But when you stood on stage, it sounded like a drummer behind you. It sounded like Trey was behind us, and that was what we wanted, and that's what gave us. We would get up there, and you would lose yourself in the moment of playing the music because the people that were, and people look at you and go, why don't you just have them pump it through the monitors? And I was like, because it don't sound like a drummer, and the crowd doesn't get the effect of having an actual drum kit pushing that out. So when you stood in the audience, it sounded like a drummer was on stage, and that was the effect that we wanted. We wanted Trey up there, but until now. So we got.
Dude, what were you doing? Were you doing like an Alice Cooper? Was it the Alice Cooper tribute? Or there was a show, I think it was an Alice Cooper something show, man, and you were doing a live on it. And you pretty much called me out because you said, "Yeah, you gave me like a mention in it." You said, "Yeah, he's in his hometown right now, and he's probably watching." And I was.
I introduced everybody, and we were going. I think we were Facebook, Periscope or something, and I introduced everybody, and I introduced Nick, and I introduced myself, and I introduced Trey. And I was like,
I hadn't been off work for like an hour. It was like 10 at night, and I just got home. So,
and I was like, I said, well, it's what you're hearing back here is Trey Bledsoe, but he's not actually here. We cut the tracks in the studio. He's probably sitting up in his recliner at the house with a cold beer, feet propped up, going, those crazy fucks are up there, blah, 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 you know.
The only thing you missed was the recliner. I had a Wild Turkey and Coke. So I was sitting there in a real uncomfortable chair watching and going, shit. So,
but yeah, we did a benefit. We did a benefit for the what was it? For the disabled veterans. It was we did a benefit for that, and it was pretty cool. We were out doing shows, and I think this was the last show we did last year, and we got a call from a guy that had seen one of the shows, and the guy had seen us on YouTube, and he was like, man, he goes, my friend told me that I had to check you guys out because you guys do some of the best Alice Cooper covers ever. And I was like, oh, well, I'm an Alice Cooper fan, so, yeah. It's like, it's like it's a guilty pleasure. So, and so he called me up and he goes, well, would you guys mind doing it? And it went from us doing it to us headlining it. So I was like, oh, yeah, sure, why not? And so it was a good thing. We made some new fans and definitely had a good time doing it. But
So what projects are you currently working on right now?
We are working on our first full-length release. Devil Music and the Record Machine. That's the title. We've got a first song coming off of that is the same title, and we've got that mixed. We are working with a great mix engineer / producer, Richard Easterling, out in Colorado Springs, Colorado right now. He does a lot of stuff with EMP Records and actually a little bit of everybody. So you got
Freddie's going to build him up, and then I want to give him a real hard time.
Yeah.
So
I know too much stuff on Richard, so
sounds like he's in Colorado. You guys are in Kentucky, right? And where are you, Trey?
Right. I'm in Kentucky as well. I am.
Oh, okay.
So, but Richard and Freddie's exactly right. Richard, there's not much of a better fit for what everybody's doing than Richard. I mean, Richard has done so many different things over the years. I had lost touch with him for a little while, and then he called me a couple of years ago, and he was mixing. I can't remember what the album name was, but it was American Head Charge. And I rolled up there and checked it out, and I'm like, "Damn, Rich, you started killing, man!" So he's really, really talented at what he does. But see, I've already blown his head up way too much now, so I got to back it off. Hey, I cussed a minute ago. Is that okay? Yeah. I didn't even ask.
Yeah. I think we're all adults cool here.
Okay, all right. So we can't cuss.
Just don't give Trey
because I mean, this is hard. I'm having to keep a conversation, and I've been trying to be mindful of my language here. So
well, this is going on radio, so and I don't think they have an age limit.
Well, no, I'm just kidding. Where is Nick, by the way? I know this has just turned into a group chat.
Across from Frey over here. Just,
what?
Chilling and jumping in.
Get in on this, Nick.
So now
Nick,
you're
like
putting
12.
this new album together, and who's doing what? Are y'all doing a collaborative effort on this, or?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's everybody's putting their each part in. I mean, we all come with our own parts, and we'll chime in on, say, I've got a guitar part or the bass part, and then it just kind of process it.
Yeah, we've got there's a lot of the stuff. I'll come in and I'll have an idea of kind of like what type of song I want on there, and I come about that by just talking to everybody and go, man, we need a good ass kicker on there, or
we'll have like a bottom line bass to the song, and then we'll just kind of add on top of that.
But everybody it's a collaborative effort on that. I mean, we've got we're doing the tracking, and so I'm doing a lot of double duty stuff on as far as recording. We're cutting most of the stuff, and I'm wearing the engineers and producers hat on some of this stuff. But so is everybody else, and Nick and Trey also do that as well. And depending on the song, and everything is done for whatever makes the song the best song it possibly can be for what we want to do with it. And if we've got one that like Trey said earlier, we have some industrial. We're not an industrial band, but we have like some elements of industrial
away from it.
Yeah, well, no, and that's what we. And as Trey said earlier, when Nick and I went out and started doing stuff as a duo for a while, when we started writing new songs, we wrote more toward that vibe, and it pushed us a little bit more into like Rob Zombie land than where we were with straight up more Cooper stuff, or kind of that vibe, or you know, and not just Cooper, because we had elements of Slipknot and Dope and everybody else, and all kinds of stuff in there.
It just evolved.
And it evolved into that.
I was going to ask you, is this new album, is it going to have those same influences, or is it going to be something completely different?
I think they're there, but they still they range.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've touched on metal, we've touched on punk. The only thing I don't think we've touched on, Freddie, have we done anything along the hip hop lines?
Not yet.
Not yet. But
Not yet, but the closest thing to that was cracking my heart, and that was on the first EP, and I just got I did that one because I wanted to write and do something completely different, and
a lot more dynamics.
yeah.
But like at any given time, you could check with any of us, and you say one day, like, who you listen to, Freddie? Man, checking out some old Manson stuff. What are you listening to, Trey? I don't know, Hall & Oates today. And then check with us tomorrow, man. What are you listening to, Trey? Lamb of God. What are you listening to, Freddie? Joe Jackson. I mean, who knows? I don't even know how to describe what the influences would be, because we pull from, just tons of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to everything. I do a lot of mixing, not necessarily what we do, but I work with other things, and I mean, and so does Trey. I mean, we pull from everything.
I listen to DJs, dude. I still go out and check DJs out. I don't know. Go on. Didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
Oh no, it's but that's it. I mean, we listen to everything. I mean, we're you know, and you'll see a lot of that. You may not see everything in there, but as you go and you know, one song. I mean, as we're looking at the set list, or not set list, but the track listing for the CD. You know, we've got a song, Devil Music in the Record Machine. We've got Wait Your Turn, and we've got California Man, which kind of veers off and is different, but still has some of the same elements in there. It's got a different vibe. You know, we got a song called Anti-You, which is definitely more punk and more of a, you know, maybe a Manson vibe.
Aggressive rock and roll.
Yeah, definitely aggressive. And punk. And Nothing, and we got a song called Nothing Left, and that's more of a, like a straight up kind of pop, a little more pop influence, rock. What do you call that, Trey?
I just call it a cool ass solo. And the solo in that's awesome. It's melodic and it's different. And I can even now I can hum the solo part, which is weird. But yeah.
But that's, and if you get the vibe of it, when you listen to this, and one of the things I do when I like to put an album together, and when I'm thinking about writing songs, is I like to think of it as a roller coaster, and you know, I want to build dynamics within the songs, but also want to build dynamics within the album. So when you listen to it, you know, it's cool when you just pull one song off of it and the song will stand on its own. Not that it's a concept album in any way, but it sounds, there's reasoning behind the placement of the songs. So when you listen to it, it's an experience when you listen to the beginning and you get to the end. So that's...
Plus, Freddie and Nick are keeping me super busy because they keep sending stuff, and it's cutting into my Pornhub time. I mean, you know,
so what do you
this is my Pornhub time, man. Come on.
When do you expect to be finished with the album?
Well, we're hoping that we're going to finish up around October. But Richard, if you're listening, we need you to speed up. You got to move us up to the top of the priority list here, man. And
I just messaged him while we were doing this.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I asked him, what's up? Where are you with everything?
Yeah. So right now we've got all but talking about the album. I think all but like maybe 4 tracks are actually recorded. We've got probably half of them, the pre-production done on it, ready to send to Richard, and then we've got one song completely finished, and he's working on the second song right now, and we've got at least 2 more in queue headed his way to mix. So
You did good there, man, because remember, the last time we went through this, you and I proved, actually Nick was in on that too, we proved we are horrible at math. We counted up, I think, 7 songs when there was like 9. And we went 30 minutes into the conversation before realizing, damn it, we forgot 2 songs.
Right. Oh, well, we have a production sheet now that tells me where we're at.
You do?
Yes, I do. I've got
Good.
it.
That helps us from having to count to 10, man. That was a bitch.
I know, man. We can only count to 3.
So you guys gonna go on tour after you get the album put out?
Trey, I'll let you answer that one.
If there's the right act, if we can get on and we can get something that's the right fit, and we can actually do the venues that we would like to do and put on the show we want to put on. I think Freddie and I have talked about this from time to time, and I don't think going on tour anymore, it seems like it's a little different because whereas in days past you would head out and, be like, well, see you in a year and a half. Now it's more like, hey, we caught a string of dates, so we're going to head out for a couple of weeks. And then, if that pans out, then you catch another string of dates, and hey, you may be out there for a month and a half. It's given where we are right now. So if opportunities come up, I think we're all 3 going to look at those very, very seriously. Does that work?
That works for me, man. That's exactly what we kind of talked about before. Is it has to be the right opportunity. It doesn't. It's not feasible to go out and go play if you're going to get stuck in a venue in a town with 2 people in a club. Not that I don't want to play for those 2 people, but you do that often enough, and you won't be doing it much more.
And you want to take the show, you want to incorporate the show, you want the sound to always, be indicative of what you are, and take pride in that. Have just have all of the elements of it put together. So if people are kind enough to come out, they want to check it out. We want to deliver the best possible product, and that's absolutely taken from all the guys we grew up on. We got 100% effort from the people that we grew up listening to, and I think I can speak for everybody on that. We don't want to change that part of the formula. We want to step on stage and give 100%. So.
Well, I believe I'll make it. I think we give 150% every time we get.
There you go.
And nobody.
I told you we're bad at math, man.
I know, man. Well, the thing that I think that what we do that is different from we are definitely not shy when we get on stage and we put on a show. We work really, really hard on stage. We definitely want the crowd. I want the crowd to feel special while we're on stage, and when we get off stage and we're back at the merch booth talking to them and hanging out and all of that. And we get a lot of praise from being very with their interaction with the fans. And I always said that we want to be a great band that not all, we want fans, but we want fans that become friends. And
I was gonna say we don't. I don't even know if we look at most people as fans as much as we just. It's more friends.
Exactly.
We'd like to earn your friendship. We'd like to have your friendship. So I don't know if that makes any sense.
For
now,
sure.
I know you've got a show coming up.
Yes, we've got actually Thursday. This Thursday, we're direct support for Stephen Fiercey. We're doing that show, and then we've got another show. That is at the Forum in Hazard, Kentucky.
Okay.
And we are Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
We are actually Dukes of Hazzard.
We have joined the ranks, and we have been presented with our dukeship, I should say. And
dukeship, nice word, man.
I think I got that from George Lynch, maybe when they got that. But anyway, I may be wrong. It was one of the other bands that got inducted as a Duke of Hazzard. So yeah, a lot of the bands that we played with, Rival Sons became Dukes. Lynch Mob, who was it? Lynch Mob, Dawkins, and I think Bullet Boys, and some of those other guys there. So.
And Lisa, it's cool too because the promoter that's over there has a really, really good venue. I was talking about how we take pride in all things sound in particular. Sound is great. Stage is sizable. Hazard is it's a cool place, but it's also a place in a lot of ways kind of fell off the grid. And the people there are about as nice as you could ever hope to meet. Hazard was a booming coal town not that long ago.
Yeah.
So a lot of these acts that come in there, they're legacy acts, granted, but I think it's really cool that they're actually stopping in a place like that, and and it's not like right down the road from any of us either. We've got to drive a little ways to get there ourselves, but just wanted to give them a shout out for just bringing in some cool acts and doing some cool stuff over there.
But the cool thing, another cool thing about that is, it is kind of off the beaten path, but they're pulling in people from Maryland, Virginia, Georgia. Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana. We've got a promoter driving from Oklahoma to see us this Thursday.
Wow.
So keep in mind, Vivian and Vinny were there the last time we were there. So talk about some big names,
right?
Yeah. And so it's they're doing shows, or they're picking up acts that maybe the only act, the only show that act is doing in the region. And so you've got people that are driving, quite a ways away to come see to see these guys. And it's pretty cool that they're doing it because a lot of the bigger cities around are not doing that. Are not pulling these acts in. So got to give them props for that, for sure.
That is good. Now,
and they're all.
I'm just looking at this. You interviewed Bob Kulick?
Yes, I did.
That's awesome.
Did that a couple days ago.
When was that?
Yeah.
Sweet. Was that fun?
Oh, yeah, that was. Super nice guy. Easy to talk to. Yeah, just like...
Killer guitar player.
Oh, yeah, he was just so cool. He was just so... there wasn't an arrogant bone in his body, Didn't have a big head or anything. He was just like, hey, what the...
Yeah. Bob is cool. I got to work with him at a KISS convention years ago, and worked with his brother Bruce Kulick also.
Right.
But both great guys.
I just thought that was cool. I don't know any of them, but I thought it was cool. I just scrolled over here to your Facebook page. I was like, oh, check that out. Which, as you can tell by now, I have attention deficit disorder to some degree, man, because I'll hop from one subject to another. So
tell me where people can get your music.
Freddie, promote. Do what you do.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you go to Sinful, SINFUL -LILLY.com, then that will take you to all of our social media links, and you can get to our music from our merch page there, and most of the stuff that we have, if it's not, we love introducing new merch all the time. So most of the stuff is on there. We've got a few new items that are not on there, but you can get our music there, and T-shirts, CDs, stickers, name it. We've got all that good stuff there. We're also, not even, not just to mention, we've got our the first EP that we put out, Moment of Clarity Volume 1, is available on the website. And then along with that, speaking of the people that we've been playing with, we've got a ton of tribute albums that are available on there that we've contributed a song, and you'll find not just great music from us, but from a lot of other well-known people. And I think Vinny is actually on the he's on the Take Your Whiskey Home, the Van Halen tribute. But we do stuff on. We got a ton of things on there. So check that out. Look us up. Give us a like on all the social media sites. Would greatly appreciate that.
The first one I remember you showed me, it had members of Lilly and Axe doing one of the songs, and I thought, oh, that's awesome. I love Lilly and Axe. Oh, God. I was a kid, and I can't remember which record was it, but they had the guy that played, they just brought in the drummer that ended up playing for Godsmack. What album was that, Freddie?
Oh man, you're pulling way before me, man.
I don't know.
I don't.
Wait a minute. Anyway, y'all continue on. Like I said, attention deficit disorder at work.
But we've got
go schizophrenia. That's it. That's the album I was thinking of. I'm done. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we do have some more shows coming up here this year. We've got a show with Winger in at the Forum also. That's September 23rd. Looks like we have. Let me see, what did we have in here? We've got at the Forum also coming up, which we will probably be on these bills also. But they've got I think Brett Michaels coming in October 1st, and Yngwie Malmsteen October 22nd, and so we'll probably be on at least one of those.
Well, that's
the thought of the Winger show right now, just the thought of Rod Morgenstein being back there, I can't think about that. He's a monster, man. If I spend like 2 minutes thinking about how good of a drummer he is, I just want to go somewhere and hide. So I'll block that out that night. I'll just try to forget he's there until he plays, and then I'm going to be in the front pretty much going, whoa! So they are phenomenal musicians, man. That's you
you have to give him that, man. That's incredible.
He does Winger and the Dixie Dregs. I mean, God, how good can you? I mean, just really, do you have to be that good? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Sitting down and talking with me, and I hope that you guys can get on tour dates and travel a little bit so people here in Texas can see your act.
That'd be sweet. Be cool.
Well, we're working on that. We worked on, when I was out in Colorado a couple weeks back, was looking at some venues and seeing what we could work up. And so hopefully, once we get this album wrapped up, then we're going to, everything lines up right, then hopefully we'll be headed down your way too.
And Lisa, real quick, for people who are listening, what's the best way that they can assist right now for the Houston community? I mean, what Red Cross? What would you recommend?
Yeah, that's what they're saying right now is Red Cross.
Okay.
Because we got FEMA here now, we got the Coast Guard here, we got the National Guard here.
Right.
And I've talked to a few people already, and we're trying to get a show together to help all the band members that have lost their equipment. And there was one band member that lost his entire family.
Oh, God.
Sorry to hear that.
So sad.
I wanted to know on a personal level
what that guy's going through. Really can't.
No, I can't at all. And I just wanted to ask because, like I said, the only thing I could do today was get out my wallet, and that's with the distance. That may be all I can do. But if I can encourage any of us can encourage anyone else to just give what I can. I mean, if it helps at all.
Yeah, even a dollar. I mean, anything.
Yeah, exactly.
FEMA's on the way here, and they've got the president will be here tomorrow, and yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, not saying the Corpus didn't get it, but we got it way worse. There's so many people that are being lifted off of their roofs of their house and being taken out of their house where they have just lost completely everything.
It's heartbreaking to see, and I mean all of the country that is when I say country, all of the parts.
It's catastrophic. It is the highest recording flooding in Texas.
Oh God.
Allison was, but now this topped that because Allison was just in a couple of different places. This is spread over Houston completely from north, south, east, and west.
Wow. It was, I've been through that neck of the woods many, many times from Houston to Corpus and pretty much all over the state, but especially along the Gulf. So I've got very fond memories of all of those places. And my heart, Freddie's heart, Nikki's heart, just our hearts collectively are with each and every person affected by this.
Oh, I agree totally.
Well, thanks, you guys. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Did you have fun?
Thank you, Lisa.
I always have fun.
There we go.
It ain't a party till I get there. I don't know
did you have fun? That's right. You got references to Joe Jackson, Lillian Axe, Winger. I mean, we've loaded you up here.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, goodness. It has been a blast.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good evening.
Oh, you too. Talk to you later, Lisa.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So sound, 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 sound. War raises its head and looks slowly around. The sinner gets me out.